Lately, the changes happening to Vorden had become more frequent. In the past, he remained in control most of the time, but there were plenty of times recently when he needed to rely on others for help. And now, for the first time in a while, Syl was actively asking for a seat. As these changes happened, it was expected that people would start to notice. The worst thought in his mind was the possibility of one of the others taking control of the seat. They didn't have the social skills that Vorden possessed to keep up his image. If they took over, he wouldn't know what to do. "When I first met Quinn, I knew he was different," Vorden replied. "Perhaps for the same reasons you were attracted to him, I was too. He was plain, a level 1 user, but had this look in his eyes that said he still had a fight in him, not like the others. Of course, at the time, I didn't know he was a vampire. In my old school, there were quite a few Quinns. They were the same. They still had hope, still had a fight in them. But eventually they were broken down and beaten, submitted to the system just like everyone else. It was rare to see someone make it into military school without already being broken. You could even see it with Peter. I was sick of it, sick of everything, and decided if I could at least save one person, it would be enough for me. Maybe I could show Quinn that even as a level 1 user, not everyone treated you the same, and you could make it through in the world. Then I got wrapped up in all this vampire business." It was a good explanation, and Layla could tell there was some truth behind Vorden's words, but she could also tell that he was missing out on some key points and details. The question was, why though? "What does that have to do with me, though? Can't we both get along with Quinn?" Layla asked. "Are you jealous or something?" "Not me," Vorden mumbled, too quiet for Layla to hear. "I haven't exactly had the best of experiences since coming here," Vorden replied. "I was tied up and beaten by the second years, shoved to a red portal planet, and now stuck here. I think it's normal to be a bit unstable after what we have been through." As Vorden finished what he was saying, he took a step forward. Layla reacted by shuffling her knees closer to herself, curling into a ball. The sight of this reminded him of Syl, and in a sweet, calming voice, he did what he usually did without thinking about it. Vorden started to sing. "It will be okay. I will make your worries go away. I am by your side. I will always be kind." As she listened to the soft, angelic voice, without realizing it, Vorden was already next to her once again. Her hands had stopped trembling. "What was that?" she asked. "An ability?" Vorden started to laugh. "It was a song my mother used to sing to me to calm me down." He gently lifted his hand and touched her head, bringing it down and closer to his chest. All his movements were so soft as he inspected the wound. It was a side of Vorden she had never seen before. "I like this, Vorden," Layla said. This was the first time that Logan had ever felt panic. Due to him having night vision in the helmet he was wearing, he could see the beast before it came into view. Peter could as well, but was unaware of the magnitude of horror they were about to face. Perhaps Peter didn't study as well at school and thought it was just a regular beast, or when he had evolved everything about him changed. Right now, it didn't look like he could feel fear like the others. Beasts were separated into different tiers. The tiers were based on the crystals that were embedded in their body. The more powerful the crystal, the higher the tier of the beast. This, however, didn't always mean they were stronger. Depending on the beast's structure or abilities, sometimes in rare cases, some were more difficult to deal with. This was unlikely the case, because a higher-tier beast can draw more power from the crystal. Basic tier, intermediate tier, advanced tier, and right now, they were about to face something that was at least at king tier level. There were levels above this, including the highest level ever given, the demon tier. Throughout history, whenever a beast that had a humanoid shape was discovered, it would at least be at the king tier level or above. There were still beasts that were at this level that didn't have a humanoid shape, but a humanoid-type beast has never been lower than a king tier. Knowing that he would need everyone's help, Logan immediately changed one of his blaster's shapes, slightly allowing it to be more narrow. The armor shifted at a fantastic speed, and when it had finished transforming, Logan quickly fired 3 blasts into the buildings around them. The shots weren't energy blasts like before. Instead, these were sticky light balls. They allowed a considerable amount of light to be shown and would easily stick onto whatever object they hit. There were 2 reasons for Logan doing this. One was to allow them to see their opponent more easily. If a creature came from the dark, their eyes and senses should be adjusted to the environment down here. He had to even the playing field, and it would also allow Sia to help them. The second reason was related to the first. The sticky lights had been shot in a triangle formation around them, one to the left, one to the right, and one slightly behind, where the king-tier beast was standing. This lit up the entire street. Although the dogs couldn't see the strange light, they could feel it and were frightened away. What Logan hoped for was that the light source would hurt or blind the king-tier beast's sensitive eyes, but it seemed to have no effect as it continued to walk forward. "What is that thing?" Sia said, trembling. Now that there was a light source, Sia could see what Logan could see, and she knew straight away the danger of the beast. "Should we run?" she asked, looking for an answer from Logan, who seemed to be the only one acting. "Run? There is no point in running. The moment we turn our back, we will die," Peter said. Hearing this, Logan realized Peter was perhaps more aware of the situation than he had thought. He knew there was nothing they could do. The beast slowly continued to walk towards the group, and by now, all of the dogs in the area had already scurried away. Now not only could the beast's outer shape be seen, but all of its details were in view. Although it had an outer human shape, it was a bit on the larger end. It stood around 8 feet tall. Its body was twisted and strange, as if it was made of mud and rocks. The muscle structure of the creature was outlined with plant roots, while the rest just looked like a mound of mud. What was frightening about it, though, was in the upper mound part of its body. Several human skeletons could be seen half sunken in its body and half sticking out. A skull, a rib cage, and other parts as well. It was as if the beast had been made from all the parts around it. Finally, on its 2 long arms, there were no fingers. Instead, they were long and sharp like a blade. From the forearm downward, it looked like the mud tree-like material changed into a harder substance. The blades shined green in color like a hard jade. "Sia! Pio!" Logan shouted. "Buy me some time!" Logan was unprepared to meet something like this down here. He thought that if the school was prepared to send some students to an orange portal planet, they would have at least sent them to one where at most the advanced tier-level beasts had been reported to be seen. There was no point attacking the beast with his current blasters. It would do nothing. What Logan needed to do was get his most powerful weapon and suit on, but it would take some time. His suit started to break down into little spiders. They were eventually all scattered on the floor. From the ground up, they started to rebuild a different type of suit right in front of him. "Come on, faster, you guys," Logan said. "I know you usually do your best, but right now, I need you more than ever." The unconfirmed king-tier beast continued to slowly walk as if it was a king taking a stroll through its kingdom. Peter could see Logan's spiders building something and knew their best chance of survival right now was relying on him. If they wanted to live, they needed to do what was asked of them. Sia could see Peter was about to move forward and shouted, "No, wait! The thing still hasn't attacked us yet. Maybe if we don't attack it, it will just walk past us."
Hi, Quinn here. Wondering what happens next? If you want to jump the queue and unleash all episodes, click on the link here and install the Pocket FM app.